2021 has been a dismal year when it comes to the economy, the Afghanistan debacle, gas prices, new COVID variants, and church attendance. Is it a part of a bigger plan or just incompetence? Hey guys, my name is Jason Wesley, and this is not a podcast. Now, let's start with Afghanistan.
Your own intelligence community has assessed that the Afghan government will likely collapse.
That is not true. They did not reach that conclusion. There's going to be no circumstance where you see people being lifted off the roof of a embassy. The likelihood there's going to be the Taliban overrunning everything and owning the whole country is highly unlikely.
Secretary Blinken, as you know, the Taliban has closed in on Kabul. We're evacuating the embassy, burning documents. Biden increased troops, deploying to the country twice in 3 days just to rescue those there. This is not just about the overall idea of leaving Afghanistan. This is about leaving hastily and ineptly. Secretary Blinken, how did President Biden get this so wrong?
If you haven't watched my episode 32 and 33 of Not a Podcast, I recommend you go back and watch them if you want to know the details of this story. But Afghanistan is now on the brink of mass starvation.
Afghanistan is on the brink of mass starvation. Every single Afghan province is considered food insecure or even in crisis. 23 million Afghans need food assistance. 8.7 million are nearing famine. 1 million children face acute, severe malnutrition and could starve and die this winter, far more than died in 20 years of war. Schools have no money to pay teachers because the banking system is inoperable, and the healthcare system is near collapse because international assistance that was the source of funding has been frozen.
So continue to pray for the Afghan people. And if you would like to donate and help, please send donations to savethechildren.org, or you can donate to the NazareneFund.org. As many of you know, gas prices have gone up quite a bit. And here in LA, the gas prices are easily between $5 and $6 a gallon. But the Democrat Congressional Campaign Committee, also known as the DCCC, tweeted out a graph saying, "Thanks, Joe Biden." Now, at first glance, it looks like the gas prices are taking a dive. But when you look closer, it shows gas price averages going down from $3.40 to $3.38 over the course of a week. Yes, just 1 week, from November 22nd to November 29th. Man, Democrats are really reaching to have some sort of good news to credit Joe Biden with. Now, the Washington Post, Glenn Kessler called the chart utterly ridiculous and truly dumb, while CNN's Daniel Dale called it parody level, misleading with Axis stuff. Now, the funniest response I read was from Mike Morrison that read, "Thanks, DCC, for inspiring me to track my weight loss as it goes from 260 to 259.8 from Thanksgiving to December 2nd. Now, after a little pressure from the White House, CNN went in deep for Joe Biden, and you would think the drop was more than just 5 cents with the way that they were talking. Listen to this.
Gas prices are heading south, down. A government forecast says that they could drop below $3 a gallon. Whew.
Finally, some economic relief, however minor. Americans are paying a little less at the pump after weeks of rising energy prices.
Relief for the United States as energy costs drop.
That pain that you've been feeling at the pump, it may be short-lived.
There is finally some relief at the pump.
Good news at the pump.
Finally getting some relief, as you mentioned.
The national average price of gas dropped 4 cents in the last week.
Gas dropped nearly a nickel in the last week. It's a 7-week low. It's moving in the right direction.
The average is now at a 7-week low.
Actually, a 7-week low. Slightly lower gas prices, so that's good news.
Yeah, this is the kind of positive news we've wanted.
Really good economic news, including dropping gas prices.
Gas prices will tumble below $3 a gallon soon. So that's good news.
A person familiar with the White House's thinking told me today that lower prices at the pump are good news.
And I do think we have to note that gas prices and natural gas, for example, going way down.
There are plenty of signs that the U.S. economy is strong.
This economy moving in the right direction. It's not perfect. There are inflation concerns here, but there are a lot of things to be very, very grateful for as we head into the Christmas season.
These are actual headlines from CNN. November 9th, 2021. Why Joe Biden can't do much to ease gas prices. And this was on November 19th, 2021. Oil prices are finally falling. Thank China and Joe Biden. Anyways, the RNC put out an actual graph to show where we were and where we are. It shows June 2nd, 2020, USA average gas prices were around $1.99. And then you are here at just under $3.42 a gallon as of December 2nd, 2020. Well, even Joe Biden could say, "Let's go, Brandon," to that.
Let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon. I agree.
Now, did you ever think, why did the WHO call the new COVID variant Omicron? Well, I'm going to tell you that story. But before I get into that story, watch this cringe video put out by the White House recently about getting your booster.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Get your booster. 1, 2, 3. Just like a sleep for a little kid. Just like the heat from a rocket ship. Sometimes all you need is a booster.
And here's a video from NIH Director Francis Collins.
I guess I'd like to play us out with a little song. So, if I might, I just need a microphone. Why, there's a guitar right here. How about that? Yeah, this is a song where the tune will be familiar to you, unless you came from another planet recently. But the words are going to be quite different, because this is really a song for you, a song for all of us who've been going through this pandemic and trying to imagine, how's it going to feel when we're finally past that? What will that be like? We're going to get there, and you're going to help us get there. So that's what this is about. Somewhere past the pandemic, when we're free, there's a life I remember full of activity. Somewhere past the pandemic, masks will come off. No more need for a nose swab every time we cough.
Even McDonald's used packaging to promote the vaccine and use the hashtag #WeCanDoThis. Now, this is from their actual corporate website. Stay healthy, everyone. Eat McDonald's and stay healthy and safe. But anyways, I don't want to get this video banned like a couple of my other ones for going over facts and data about COVID, but New York Times, the WHO skips forward 2 Greek letters avoiding the Psi variant. When the World Health Organization began to name the emerging variants of the coronavirus, officials turned to the Greek alphabet to make it easier for the public to understand the evolution. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, and so on. Now the alphabet has created its own political headache. When it came time to name the potentially dangerous new variant that has emerged in southern Africa, the next letter in alphabetical order was Nu, which officials thought would be too easily confused with new. It's almost as if they think you're too stupid to know that the new variant isn't the same as the new variant, even though it is the new variant. But let's say, okay, that's understandable. But the next one was XI pronounced Xi.
From Paul Nuki, he says, a journalist, and he confirmed with the World Health Organization the decision here, and you had this on your blog too, and it had been skipped to avoid the word new, that makes sense, but Xi had been skipped to avoid stigmatizing a region. All pandemics are inherently political. I would have thought the region they're looking not to stigmatize there is China.
Of course, it has nothing to do with President Xi. Now, the last bit of news is probably the most important to me because it inherently has a major impact on this nation and the world. According to Gallup, U.S. church membership falls below majority for first time. Americans' membership in houses of worship continued to decline last year, dropping below 50% for the first time in Gallup's 8-decade trend. In 2020, 47% of Americans said they belonged to a church, synagogue, or mosque, down from 50% in 2018. And 70% in 1999, according to Statista. Do you think getting a divorce is morally acceptable or morally wrong? 79% believe it's morally acceptable. Now, I'm not going to dive into this subject on this video, but just know that divorce can also have a major impact and traumatic impact among children, especially teenagers. During the course of this pandemic, we've seen church doors closed, pastors arrested for violating mandates, keeping their churches open. The government has become a place where we seek guidance, but the government has been causing most of the problems. Now, during these COVID lockdowns, youth suicide has increased. Now, this was from the CDC just a couple months ago. Drug overdose deaths in the U.S. top 100,000 annually. Provisional data from the CDC's National Center for Health Statistics indicate that there were an estimated 100,306 drug overdose deaths in the United States during a 12-month period ending in April 2021, an increase of 28.5% from the 78,056 deaths during the same period the year before. The new data documents that estimated overdose deaths from opioids increased from 75,673 in the 12-month period ending in April 2021, up from 56,064 the year before. Overdose deaths from synthetic opioids, primarily fentanyl, and psychostimulants such as methamphetamine, also increased in the 12-month period ending in April 2021. Cocaine deaths also increased, as did deaths from natural and semi-synthetic opioids such as prescription pain medication. But don't worry, Omicron is what's going to really cause severe illness and death this winter, according to Joe Biden for the unvaccinated. unvaccinated.
For unvaccinated, we are looking at a winter of severe illness and death for unvaccinated. For themselves, their families, and the hospitals they'll soon overwhelm.
According to the WHO, in a report released last month, the organization said that of the 38 countries touched by the variant, none have reported Omicron-specific deaths. Since then, it has spread rapidly, and one person in the UK has died with the new variant. But hey, at least we'll have the government advocate that we put microchips in our arms to act as a vaccine passport.
Implants are a very versatile technology that can be used for many different things. And right now, it's very convenient to have a COVID passport always accessible on your implant.
Remember when vaccine passports were a conspiracy theory? Remember when putting microchips in our arms, hands, foreheads was a conspiracy? And I'm not even gonna touch the metaverse in this episode.
Will you